Good day to all of you children. Today we will learn a new topic of functions, and that is finding the domain of the function. I have written few questions for you, and first understand what is the meaning of finding out domain of the function. See, domain of the function means I should find out those values of x for which my function will be defined. It will have some defined values. Whatever possible values of x are there, the values of variable are there, for which my function will be defined, it will have some definite value. The set of those values is called the domain of function. So what does domain mean? It is the collection of the values of the variable. Generally we denote the variable by x. So it is the collection of those values of x for which my function has got a definite value. And when we want to find the domain of the function, what do we actually do? We start thinking opposite. What are those values of x for which function will not be defined? We start thinking in the opposite sense. What will be those values of x for which my function will not be defined? Those values we are removing, we are deleting from the set of real numbers, and the remaining part becomes our domain. Like if you see this function, first one, fx equal to, see the first one is fx equal to 1 upon 9 minus x square. Now children, I know that if this is 0, the value won't be defined, and I know that this will be 0, 9 minus x square will be 0 for x equal to plus minus 3, that I can make out. So what I do is I start thinking, when will this number be 0? Because when this number will be 0, this expression will be 0, 1 upon 0 will be undefined. So I start thinking like this, that 9 minus x square should not be 0, so that this remains always defined. Because if 9 minus x square is 0, then my function will not have a value. So I propose that 9 minus x square should not be 0, and therefore x square should not be 9, and therefore x should not be plus minus 3, that is all. For all remaining values of x, this function will be always defined. Whatever values of x you put apart from plus minus 3, 1, 2, 3, 0, half, root 2, root 3, whatever you want to put, you can put, you will get some definite value of the function. But if you put 3 or minus 3, this will become 9 minus 9, 1 upon 0, undefined. So what is the domain? Domain of the function becomes r minus plus minus 3. From the set of real numbers, you have subtracted these two elements, that is all. This becomes the domain. That way you have to think, children. Look at the next one. fx is root of 9 minus x square. Now we know, children, square root is defined if the number is 0 or positive. Square root of a number will not exist if the number inside the square root it is negative. The number inside the square root can be 0 or positive. For negative numbers it won't be defined. So therefore we have a condition in our mind that for this fx to be defined, 9 minus x square should be greater than or equal to 0. That means 9 should be greater than or equal to x square. That means x square should be less than or equal to 9. Now I have told you already, children, so many points of inequalities I have taught you. If x square is less than or equal to a square, then minus a less than or equal to x less than or equal to a. Please remember these points. I may not be able to tell you again and again and again. So if x square is less than or equal to a square, minus a less than or equal to x less than or equal to a, of course a is greater than 0. So here x square is less than or equal to 3 square. So x square less than or equal to a square. So what will happen? Minus 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 3. So therefore what is my domain? X should be between minus 3 and 3. So my domain becomes minus 3 to 3. Like this we think. This is my domain. Here this is my domain for the given expression. Okay, like this you have to think, children. Third, see, it is given to me that fx is 1 upon root 9 minus x square. See how the question is changing from 1 upon 9 minus x square to root, then 1 upon root, all are getting different answers. See, root will exist if this is positive or 0. First thing is that I think like this. This number should be 0 or positive for square root to exist. But now one more condition is there. If this is 0, then 1 upon 0 will not be defined. Therefore, this number which is inside the square root, it should not be 0. Now it can be only positive. See here, square root was in numerator. So this number can be 0. Therefore, we wrote greater than or equal to 0. But now this is the denominator. In denominator 0 cannot come. Therefore, I cannot say 9 minus x square will be greater than or equal to 0. Now I have to pick up only greater than 0 because otherwise 1 upon square root of 0, it will become undefined. So now I get that 9 minus x square only should be positive. 9 should be greater than x square less than 9, x square less than 3 square. So minus 3 less than x less than 3. So x belongs to minus 3 to 3 open interval. And here there was closed interval, there is a minor difference. So this is my domain of the function. Okay, if you are understanding well, then I can do the next one, fourth one. See, I am given fx equal to mod x upon x. So I very well know that mod x is defined for all x. It is in numerator. This won't create problem. If only the numerator I see, if I put any value of x, it won't create problem for me. So here x can be belonging to real numbers, no restrictions on the numerator. About denominator, I know if x is 0, then this won't be defined. For all remaining x, my function will have definitely some or the other value, well defined real number. So by looking at this, I realize that x should not be 0. That is all. There is no other restriction. So what is my domain? Domain of the function is r minus element 0. Please realize. Understanding, children, what I am doing? Okay, like this you have to think. You have to think for what values function will not be defined. Those values you have to get rid of from the set of real numbers, and that way you get your domain. This is the method to get domain. Fifth one, fx equal to x square plus 3x plus 5 upon x square minus 5x plus 4. See children, numerator will not create problem for me. Numerator will not create any problem for me. Whatever value x I keep, even if it is 0, it is not troubling me, because 0 in numerator can be allowed. But 0 should not be in denominator. Now this is equal to x square plus 3x plus 5 upon x minus 4 and x minus 1. So now I know if x is 4 or if x is 1, this will become 0 and fx will be in trouble then. For all remaining values of x, this f will be always defined. So I make out that x should not be 4, x should not be 1, because denominator should not be 0. But for x equal to 4 and x equal to 1, it is becoming 0. Therefore x should not be 4, x should not be 1. So what is the domain? Only these two elements are getting read out, 4 and 1. That is it. Please pause and copy, children. I will do more sums for you. So we did sum number 5, then we have got sum number 6. See children, fx is given to me as x square minus x plus 1, x square plus x plus 1. I told you numerator is a quadratic expression. Even if it is 0, it is not going to create trouble for me. So I am least worried about numerator. I am worried about only the denominator. My denominator should not be 0. Now children, you can make out this expression. I cannot make out factors, because in this sum we could make out factors very easily, x minus 4, x minus 1. So we thought x is not 4, x is not 1, but here x square plus x plus 1 I am not able to factorize. So whenever a quadratic expression you are not able to factorize, draw its graph and see where fx will be 0. To draw a parabolic graph of a quadratic function, you already know how to draw the graph. You have been taught about it. So supposing this is gx, this expression, x square plus x plus 1. This is like ax square plus bx plus c. What is delta? The discriminant b square minus 4ac. So b is 1, c is 1, a is also 1. So 1 square 1 like this. So this is minus 3. What is the vertex? Minus b upon 2a minus delta upon 4a. That is what I have been telling you. So minus b means minus 1 upon 2, क्योंकि b and a are 1 1, a b c all are 1. Minus delta means 3 upon 4. So my vertex is minus half and 3 by 4. So please plot it. This is x axis and y axis. We want a rough sketch. Minus half and 3 by 4. Minus half and 3 by 4. Somewhere here. The value of c is 1. See, this is minus half and this is 3 by 4. C is 1. So c is 1 over here. So I plot like this and then I take like this. So children, you can realize it is an upward opening because a is positive. So children, you can realize that this graph will never be 0. It is never touching the x-axis. Therefore, whatever value of x you take, this will always remain positive. This will never become 0. So that means it will not create trouble for us. So what is the domain? Domain of the function will be R, because there is no x which will make this 0. So we should not worry about anything. Simply the domain is entire set of real numbers. If you pick up any value of x, you will definitely get some value of fx. You will never find that fx is becoming undefined because denominator is never going to be 0. You can see from the graph. So whenever factorization is not possible, always try to go for the graph and try to make judgment in case of quadratic equations. Now I am doing the 7th one for you. I think I made a mistake of 5, 6. Okay, I'll do it this one. 6th and second part. Okay, numbering mistake anyway. Fx is equal to x square plus 2x minus 3 upon x square minus 8x plus 12. So again, factors are very quick in the denominator. Numerator, I don't want factors because numerator, if it is even if it is 0, I am not worried. Therefore, I will not factorize numerator even if I can, because there is no purpose of that. Here it will be x minus 6, x minus 2. So therefore, 6 and 2 are troublesome. Therefore, x should not be 6 and x should not be 2. So what is the domain of f? R minus 2 and 6. This is the answer. Okay, then 7 children, fx equal to 1 upon integer part of x. Children, integer part of x can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4 like this, or integers only. So this should not be 0. Whenever this is 0, it will create trouble for us. For all other numbers, we are not concerned. So we want integer x should not be 0. We start like this. Integer x should not be 0. Otherwise, 1 upon 0 will be undefined. Integer x can be 1, can be 2, can be 3, can be 4, can be minus 1, can be minus 2. That is okay. But integer part of x should not be 0. What are those numbers whose integer part is 0? Plot a number line. You have been told how to get the integer part of a number. Which are those numbers whose integer part is 0? Zero's integer part is 0. And all these numbers, children, you know, will have integer part 0. Which numbers? Up to 1, not including 1, because 1 will have integer part 1. So all these numbers between 0 and 1 also have integer part 0. So from 0 to this number, they have integer part x 0. So I should not include these numbers. So this is x belonging to 0 to 1. So x should not belong to 0 to 1. This is the point. Baki, it can be any set of real numbers. So barring this, we can have all the numbers. How can I write it? X belongs to R minus. I want to get rid of these numbers. So I want to include these numbers and include these numbers in my domain. I don't want these numbers. 0 I don't want, and numbers between 0 and 1 I don't want. Remaining numbers all I want. So this region I want. This is, I can write minus infinity to 0, C open. Because if I include 0, then 0 will come and that will be creating trouble. I don't want this much region. Union, 1 I can have, 1 to infinity. So this is the domain of the function. Minus infinity to 0, 0 not included. Because if we include 0, integer part of 0 will be 0. That we don't want. 1 we can include because integer part of 1 is not 0. So from 1 to infinity. Open at 0, closed at 1. Please pause and copy, children. Okay, children. Now we are having question number 8, I think. See, fx is given to me as 1 upon x minus integer part of x. And children, you know that every number x is made up of two parts, integer part of x plus fractional part of x, that you have been told. That x minus integer part will be how much? Fractional part of x, that you can realize. That means fx is 1 upon fractional part of x. And children, you know already that fractional part of x belongs to 0 to 1. And because fractional part of x is in denominator, this number should not be 0, baki it can be any number. Because 1 upon 0 will be troublesome for us, and I can see that fractional part of x can be 0 also and positive also. If it remains positive, there is no trouble, but if it is 0, then it is trouble for me. So because I know fractional part of x can be 0, I have to start thinking for what values of x fractional part of x will be 0. So I know that for domain now fractional part of x should not be 0. I have to think for what values of x fractional part of x is 0. I know for all integer values fractional part of x is 0. I have told you in properties. For all x belonging to z, fractional part of x is 0, that we know. That means this will create trouble for us. If we take x as an integer, fractional part will become 0, but we want fractional part to be not to be 0. That means x can be any number but not an integer, that will be the domain. So therefore the domain becomes r minus z. This way we think. For all other numbers, this won't be 0 for these numbers. If you take out all integers, if you take any decimal number, any fractional number, then this will never be 0. But for every integer number, this will be becoming integer. You can check out. So this way we have to think logically and get the domain, children. We will have to use our brains, thought process, and everything that should be in proper place. 9c, I have got fx equal to 1 upon x minus mod x. Now again, because it is in denominator, it should not be 0. X minus mod x. So I will start thinking for what values of x will x minus mod x be 0. So let us start finding those values of x for which x minus mod x is 0, and after finding out those values, we remove them from our domain, because for those values of x, x minus mod x will be 0. So now my target is to find the values of x for which x minus mod x is 0. I take case number 1, x is greater than 0. At the time mod x will be x. So I want x minus mod x to be 0. So x minus x equal to 0, so 0 equal to 0. That is the correct conclusion. That means x can belong to R. If you get a correct conclusion, then you write x belongs to R. That means it is true. That means x can be any real number. That is the meaning. When you get a correct conclusion, that means you are right for every real number. But our precondition was that x should be positive, and this is my conclusion. So I take intersection of these two. So finally my answer is x is greater than 0. Case 2, x is less than 0. So I want x minus mod x equal to 0. When x is less than 0, mod x is minus x, children. Mod x is minus x when x is less than 0. So x minus minus x. So 2x equal to 0 and x equal to 0. This is my conclusion. This is my conclusion that x should be 0. But what was the precondition? X less than 0. Intersection of these two, nothing is common. This says x should be 0. This says x should be less than 0. There is no intersection. So from here I don't get any value of x. And finally case 3, x equal to 0. I want x minus mod x to be 0. So 0 minus mod 0 equal to 0. So 0 equal to 0. This is correct conclusion. Therefore x belongs to R. And what is my precondition? X equal to 0. Intersection of these two, x equal to 0. So I have to take union of this, and union of this. What is it coming out to be? X greater than equal to 0. So therefore, when x is greater than equal to 0, my x minus mod x will be 0, which I don't want. So I have concluded what are the values of x for which x minus mod x will be 0? They are positive numbers and 0 number. So in domain I don't want these, because otherwise then x minus mod x will be 0. So then what is the domain, children? I remove all these values. See, this is the real number line. This is 0, infinity and minus infinity. It is being told to us for these values 0 and more than 0, x minus mod x will be 0. So get rid of these values, only this much remains with me. So what is my domain? Domain is minus infinity to 0, not including 0, because 0 was included here. I don't want those. So minus infinity to 0, that is my domain. R minus set of negative real numbers. Please pause and copy, children. देखो children, we have done up to 9. Now we go to 10th one. It is 1 upon x plus mod x. It is fx is 1 upon x plus mod x. Again, x plus mod x should not be 0, otherwise 1 upon 0 will be undefined. So I find those values of x for which x plus mod x is 0. So let us look for those x for which x plus mod x will be 0. What are those values of x? So case 1, see, I am taking, I want x plus mod x equal to 0. I want to look for x. Case 1, x is positive. At that time mod x will be x. So x plus x equal to 0. So 2x is 0. So x is 0. So this is my answer, conclusion, and this was my precondition. What is the intersection of these two conditions? Nothing. So I get no answer from here. Case 2, x less than 0. So this will be minus x. So x plus x minus, so 0 equal to 0. Therefore we are reaching a correct conclusion. So therefore x belongs to R. I told you, if you reach a correct conclusion, then you have to write x can belong to R. And my precondition was this. So what is the intersection of these two? This is the entire set of real numbers. This is only negative numbers. Intersection will be negative numbers. This will be one answer. This is one answer from case 1. And finally, if I have case 3, x equal to 0. So x plus mod x is 0. So 0 plus 0 is 0. This is a correct conclusion. X belongs to R, and this was my precondition. Intersection of these two, that will be only x equal to 0. I hope you can understand. Okay? So children, if x plus mod x is 0, what answers I can get? Either x less than 0 or equal to 0. That means x will be less than equal to 0. But I don't want that, because for this 1 upon 0 will be undefined. So here x can be on this line, 0 from here up to here. But I don't want this. So therefore my domain is what? Only this side, 0 to infinity, or R plus. Okay. Whenever mod x is involved, you have to split like this and then do x positive, x negative, and x equal to 0. Previous sum also was done like this. Therefore, look at question number 11. 11th is fx equal to 1 upon root of x minus mod x. Now children, no, this cannot be 0 because square root hai, and this cannot be negative because root will not exist. That means for the domain I want x minus mod x should be greater than 0. Now I am not writing greater than equal to 0 because it cannot be equal to 0. Otherwise if it is 0, 1 upon 0 will be undefined. So x minus mod x should be greater than 0. That is my requirement for the domain. That means x should be more than mod x. This is my requirement. Let me check what are those numbers for which x is greater than mod x. So case 1, as I told you, when x is positive. So x greater than mod x, that means x greater than x. This is not possible, sir. X cannot be greater than x. So this is a wrong conclusion. When you reach to a wrong conclusion, answer will be null set. When you reach to a correct conclusion, answer will be x belongs to R. Think like this. So this is my answer and this was my precondition. Now intersection of these two will be what? Null set. So this answer null set I get from case 1. Look for case 2. Supposing x is positive, so x is greater than mod x. X will be greater than x because mod x will be x when x is positive. Oh sorry, I have to take x less than 0. Once I have already taken. The equation is x more than mod x. So x greater than minus x because mod x will be minus x whenever x will be less than 0. So 2x should be greater than 0. So x should be greater than 0. This is my conclusion. And here we are having this. So x less than 0, x greater than 0. What is the intersection? Null set. So here also we don't get any value of x. Case 3, x equal to 0. Take over here. We want x greater than mod x. So 0 greater than 0. This is a wrong conclusion. 0 cannot be greater than 0. So I get null set. This is my conclusion. This was my precondition. Intersection. Null set. So children, there is no value of x for which x will be more than mod x. So I wanted x more than mod x for some values of x. Therefore, what is the domain? Domain is null set. There is no value of x for which x will be more than mod x. And you can check out, children, by keeping the values. So this function is a null set. No element present in the domain. Please pause and copy, children. Now see, last one we are having, children, that is the 12th sum. Fx equal to 1 upon integer part of x minus x. Now children, we already know that x is equal to integer part of x plus fractional part of x. So therefore x minus integer part of x will be fractional part of x. And this is integer x minus x. So we invert. So integer x minus x will become minus fractional part of x. Now children, this number should be positive but not 0 but not negative. Because square root hai, the number should be positive and denominator mein hai, so this number should not be 0 because 1 upon root 0 will become undefined. So this number integer minus x means this number should be positive. Only then the function can be defined, otherwise no. So we want this number to be positive, minus fractional part of x. But we know that fractional part of x always lies between 0 and 1. So minus fractional part multiplied by minus, inequality sign will change. So 0 greater than equal to minus fractional part of x greater than minus 1. So fractional part of x, where it lies? Just see, from minus 1, 0, it lies over here, including 0, not including minus 1 here. And we wanted this to be greater than 0 for the domain. We were saying this number should be positive, mean this should be positive. But where is minus fractional part of x? It lies over here. It is never positive. It is 0 or negative. It cannot be positive. Therefore, that means there will be no value of x. And therefore, what will be the domain? Null set. Because we won't get any value of x for which integer, this number, integer x minus x can become positive. Because this is minus fractional part of x. And I can make out minus fractional part of x is where? Over here. It is never positive. I want it to be positive. But this is not positive. It is over here. That means there is no value of x. So the domain is null set. That was all about domain, children, in this video. In next video we will take up many more sums. Thank you and God bless you.